Yep.
Still Christmas Eve here, waiting for dinner to begin. Act 4, Scene 4. Enter Emperor and Empress and her 2 sons and attendants. The Emperor brings the arrows in his hand. The Titus shot at him. That's okay, I'll come over here. My lords, what wrongs are these? Was ever seen an emperor in Rome thus overborne, troubled, confronted thus, and for the extent of equal justice used in such contempt? My lords, you know, as know the mightiful gods, however these disturbers of our peace buzz in the people's ears, that naught hath passed, but even with law against the wilful sons of old Andronicus. And what and if his sorrows have so overwhelmed his wits? Shall we be thus afflicted in his reeks, his fits, his frenzy, and his bitterness? And now he writes to heaven for his redress. See, here's to Jove, and this to Mercury, this to Apollo, this to the god of war. Sweet scrolls to fly about the streets of Rome. What's this but libeling against the Senate and blazoning our injustice everywhere? A goodly humor, is it not, my lords? As who would say, in Rome no justice were. But if I live, his feigned ecstasies shall be no shelter to these outrages, but he and his shall know that justice lives in Saturninus' health, whom, if she sleep, he'll so awake as she in fury shall cut off the proud conspirator that lives. My gracious lord, my lovely Saturnine, lord of my life, commander of my thoughts, calm thee and bear the faults of Titus' age, the effects of sorrow for his valiant sons, whose loss hath pierced him deep and scarred his heart, and rather comfort his distressed plight than prosecute the meanest or the best for these contempts. Why thus it shall become high-witted Tamara to gloze withal. But Titus, I have touched thee to the quick, thy life-blood out. If Aaron now be wise, then is all safe, the anchor in the port. Enter Clown. How now, good fellow, wouldst thou speak with us? Yea, forsooth, and your mistress ship be imperial? Empress I am, but yonder sits the emperor. 'Tis he. God and Saint Stephen give you good e'en. I have brought you a letter and a couple of pigeons here. Go, take him away and hang him presently. How much money must I have? Come, sirrah, you must be hanged. Hanged, by lady? Then I have brought up a neck to a fair end. Exits. Despiteful and intolerable wrongs, shall I endure this monstrous villainy? I know from whence this same device proceeds. May this be born, as if his traitorous sons, that died by law for murder of our brother, have by my means been butchered wrongfully? Go, drag the villain hither by the hair. Nor age nor honor shall shape privilege. For this proud mock I'll be thy slaughterman, sly frantic wretch that hopes me to make great, and hope thyself should govern Rome and me. What news with thee, Emilius? On, my lords. Rome never had more cause. The Goths have gathered head, and with the power of high-resolved men bent to the spoil, they hither march amain under conduct of Lucius, son to old Andronicus, who threats in course of this revenge to do as much as ever Coriolanus did. Is warlike Lucius general of the Goths? These tidings nip me, and I hang the head as flowers with frost or grass beat down with storms. And now begins our sorrows to approach. 'Tis he the common people love so much. Myself hath often heard them say, when I have walked like a private man, that Lucius' banishment was wrongfully. And they have wished that Lucius were their emperor. Why should you fear? Is not your city strong? Aye, but the citizens favor Lucius, and will revolt from me to succor him. King, be thy thoughts imperious like thy name. Is the sun dimmed that gnats do fly in it? The eagle suffers little birds to sing. And is not careful what they mean thereby, knowing that with the shadow of his wing he cannot pleasure stint their melody. Even so mayst thou, the giddy men of Rome, then cheer thy spirit, for know then, Emperor, I will enchant the old Andronicus with words more sweet and yet more dangerous than baits to fish or honey stalks to sheep, when as the one is wounded with the bait, the other rotted with delicious feed. But he will not entreat his son for us. If Tamara entreat him, then he will. For I can smooth and fill his aged ears with golden promises that were his heart almost impregnable, his old ears deaf, yet should both ear and heart obey my tongue. Go thou before to be our ambassador. Say that the emperor requests a parley of warlike Lucius, and appoint the meeting even at his father's house, the old Andronicus. Emilius, Do this message honorably. And if he stand in hostage for his safety, bid him demand what pledge will please him best. Your bidding shall I do effectually. Now will I to that old Andronicus, and temper him with all the art I have, to pluck proud Lucius from the warlike Goths. And now, sweet Emperor, be blithe again, and bury all thy fear in my devices. Then go incessantly, and plead to him.
Don't tell us.